And this is Frank, and I'm going to be your host this afternoon. And today we have a couple of guest speakers. They're not all here yet, but I trust that they will be here when we need them. We have just a boatload to talk about today. So I want to get going. I want to do it really, I want to get moving really, really fast today. So please, when you come on, please mute yourself. Please, please, please mute yourself. And to avoid embarrassing moments, when you come on, make sure your camera is off because we don't want to see you when you think no one's looking. And we have seen some pretty strange things. So that's all I'm going to do for housekeeping. Again, please mute yourself. You may hear me say this from time to time because I don't have a moderator to mute people for me. So let's go ahead and get started right away. I've got so much that we have to talk about. And first thing we got to do is put it in gear. All right. So if you're not an agent yet, to join up, it's easy. financialgroupllc.com/agents. Join us. It is absolutely free. You can join for free. And it's a fantastic organization. And after today, you're going to want to join because I just know you will. I want to talk about something that I learned many, many years ago, success. One of the definitions for success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal. Clear my throat and say, the progressive realization of a worthy goal. I learned that many, many years ago. And I believe helping people get what they want is a worthy goal. I believe if you help enough people get what they want, you'll ultimately get what you want. So what do you want? Do you want to replace your job just over broke? Do you want to have free time? Do you want to travel more? Do you want to have the money to travel more? Do you just want to have enough money to not have to worry about money? Or do you just want more? Somebody is still unmuted. Please mute yourself. Okay, it's all possible with real estate. As you can see, people who don't mute themselves distract me. Please mute yourself. *6 if you're dialing in, and the microphone if you're on a computer. I'm going to have to take a look. I'm going to have to take a look and see who's making the noise. Helen. Come on, Helen. Mute. And Karen. Mute. Okay. Sorry, had to do that. Okay. But I can't, but it does distract me tremendously. All right, so join us. It's free with real estate. It's all possible with real estate. Kick it back into gear again. And real estate has made more millionaires than any other vehicle. It's all possible with Easy Financial Group. Speaking about travel, Roger and I have been working on what will be a multi-million-dollar deal. We have come up with a promotional incentive. We're calling it Play Around in Costa Rica. Roger, are you out there?
I'm here, Frank. Absolutely, I'm here.
Great. So you need to get a little bit closer to your microphone, Roger, because you're a million miles away.
Can you hear me better?
Okay, yeah, that's much better.
Thank you.
So, Roger, we're working with a gentleman down in Costa Rica. This is going to end up being a multi-million-dollar deal, but in the meantime, we're talking about doing a promotion to help him get his program up off the ground And when we started thinking about that, we started thinking about, well, gee, why don't we do an incentive promotion to incentivize all of our agents and underwriters? So let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, it's a beautiful place. By golly, gee, I wonder what the weather's like down there. Let me just check here. Oh, look at this. It's 71 Fahrenheit down there right now. It's going to be 73 by this afternoon. The coldest it's going to get is 69 around 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. Gosh, you know, that kind of weather, we could fall asleep right on the putting green. Right?
That sounds like a great idea to me. And is golf the only thing we can do in Costa Rica?
No, there's all kinds of things: fishing, zip lining, yoga, all kinds of things that you can do when you're going down the Costa or like to fool around in Costa Rica. Going for a round. How did you put that?
All right.
Yeah.
So
play around in Costa Rica. You can play.
Oh, you're fading so far away from the mic.
You can play around in Costa Rica, or you can play around in Costa Rica.
Okay. And so real quick, I want to do the scuba diving. I want to go out there. And I haven't done scuba diving in years. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
But they have a complete villa there, right?
Right. Yeah.
And so what is going to happen is we're going to use an incentive package to go down to Costa Rica, and it's going to be an all expense paid. You're going to get to stay at the villa, swim in the swimming pools, play golf at the golf, eat, drink, and be merry. How much is all of this going to cost us? A goose egg, right?
Yeah.
This is going to be a promotional program that Roger and I have joined in to help this gentleman. He's a great guy, and Roger and I are going to kick in to help promote the product and promote what it is that they're doing. But our part of the program is we're going to use a promotion for us to have a sales contest or just an incentive if you meet certain goals. We haven't covered that yet. This is brand new with us, but I was just so excited. I just wanted to share it with everyone. If you just do some of the things that I've been saying all along, if you just do some of the simple things, you will qualify, and you can meet Roger and I down in Costa Rica. Actually, Roger, what were you saying this morning about doing a lunch with the leaders at Costa Rica?
Absolutely. We'll set up right there on the golf course we'll allow cameras that can, so that everybody can see where we're sitting and how beautiful it is there. And we'll have our lunch with the leaders right there on the golf course, you know, and we might stay an extra week. Who knows? We'll do the next lunch with leaders on a fishing boat right in the middle of, well, not the middle, but out in the water, you know. I doubt we'll do one up on a zip line, but if anybody wants to check out the site, just playincostarica.com, right? Check it out. Yeah, so that'll be a lot of fun, I believe. Looking forward to it.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
I'll be sleeping on the golf course. It'll be so nice, so that you can wake me up when you get there with all the equipment there, Frank. Okay.
All right. And it's all possible with Easy Financial Group. These are things, I mean, I'm always looking for something to make your job easier and make you much more profitable. And with Easy Financial Group, all of these things are possible. You do have to get up and you do have to do some work. This is not free. You do have to work a little bit. You have to make yourself available to the RIA groups, the RIA Real Estate Investment Association. If you just associate yourself with those folks, your pipeline will be bursting. Somebody needs to mute themselves again. And
Oprah drops ain't got her yet.
okay, I got to do it again. Got to find out who is not muted. Helen Jones. You need to stay muted unless you're going to ask a question, and we will open it up for questions later. Thank you. Don't like to do that, but I can't. Oh, my goodness. And Angela, you got to shut your phone off because we're watching you. And DC Miller, we're watching you too. You got to shut your camera off. We can see you. All right, he wants to be seen. DC Miller, shut your iPad camera off. We see you. Don't do anything embarrassing. All right. The whole world is going to see you because I'm going to put this up on YouTube later on. All right, breaking my train of thought. He's going to try to get back into his train of thought. It's all possible with Easy Financial Group. DC Miller, I know you hear me. Please shut your camera off. I see you stroking your beard. There's a line you can put under your camera and shut it off.
Well, hold on. I didn't know I turned it on. Let me take the
Okay.
record. Hold on. Did that do it?
I can't hold on. We have way too much to cover. Just take care of it. All right. So let's go ahead and move forward. I have way too much to cover. All of this is possible with Easy Financial Group. Man, I'm going to have to try to do it myself. Okay. Flossie is not muted. Make her muted. Okay. Well, I can't see you here in my screen. I can't find you. I think you are right there. Mute you. Okay, I've taken care of it. All right. I have so much to cover. I have so much to cover. What we're going to do is everything that I said earlier is all possible with Easy Financial. And we're going to start, God, I wish I had a moderator to go through and mute everyone that doesn't know how to mute themselves. All right, it's very distracting to me, but I'm going to just go ahead. What we're going to start doing is we're going to start calling for people. And what? You want me to do all the work? You want me to make all the calls? You want me to explain the programs? You want me to answer all the questions? And you want to write it up and keep all the commission? Okay, we'll do that. All right, that's what we're going to do. Starting today, we're going to have a Skype group that you can log into. 5 of you, 10 of you, 20 of you can log into the Skype group all at once, and we will begin to rotate and make phone calls to RIA groups, to real estate agencies, and to real estate agents. In other words, we want to put you in front of all of the people that can fill your pipeline to bursting. I'll make the calls. You have to have your screen, your back office open, and just on input leads. When I finish the call, I will ask the client, well, are you ready to get pre-qualified now? That will be your cue to make sure your back office is open and running and that you're about to put in the information that you have in your back office, which is, what is your first name? What is your last name? What is the best phone number to call you with your approval. What is the best email to send your approval to? What's the name of your company? That's optional. How much money would you like? That's optional. And if we give you that much money, what will you be doing with the money that we give you? That is all it takes to get your clients pre-qualified. Once we finish that application, that pre-qualification, we'll go on to the next client. You simply later on that day get a credit report from them, and in 24 to 48 hours, they will be pre-qualified. And when they get their first monies, working capital, you will earn the entire commission. I will not take anything from you. You will earn the entire commission. Okay, so basically, here's how it's going to go. I'll ask the what if questions. What if there was a way that a real estate investor could be funded before they found a house? Sort of like having working capital. And what if when they found that deal of the century, comes along about every week, they could get it 100% funded? And what if they could also get 100% of the rehab cost funded? What if they could get the marketing money to advertise the property in an upscale magazine like Homes and Gardens and get the absolute highest dollar for it? That real estate investor would think they died and they went to real estate heaven. Well, those are the what if questions. So I will be asking what if questions for you. And then when the client that you have on the phone that I dialed, you have on the phone says yes, then we'll move forward and we'll get them pre-qualified. And we'll be introducing them to our exclusive 125% buy, fix, and flip. Anybody who's still unmuted, be polite and please mute yourself so I don't have to do it for you. All right, *6 on your telephone or click on the microphone on your screen. Anyway, let's introduce you to our exclusive 125% buy, fix, and flip program. This is the application for it. It's a 125% funding program. It's for our buy, fix, and flip, or our buy, fix, and hold commercial real estate. This is not for owner-occupied. Again, not for owner-occupied. This is for you to buy that deal of the century, fix it up, and flip it. This 125% product, this is our flagship product. This is the best of the best, reserved for our best clients. You have to have a 680 or above FICO score. You can't have any derogatory showing, and you can't have any negatives, bankruptcies, judgments, or any of those things. This is for the best of the best. It starts with when you fill out the input leads that I just went over, first name, last name, best email to send your approval to, best phone number to talk to you about your approval. Once you fill that out, we will put in your left hand from 20 to 100,000. My average has been 75,000. Before you ever went shopping for a piece of property. This is called pre-qualification. Now, does that mean that you come to me and say, Frank, I have to be funded in 3 days or I'm going to lose my deposit? No, that's not pre-qualified. Frank, if I don't get this thing done, I'm going to lose everything I own. No, that's not pre-qualified. Pre-qualified is before you go shopping for a house, we will put $75,000 in your left hand. You'll use that for working capital. You will pay your Lowe's bill with that. You will advertise for property with that. You will use it for down payment money. You'll use it to pay attorneys. You'll use it to put gas in your car to drive around. You'll use it to go to McDonald's. Any legitimate business use, you will use my $75,000 to do before you found the deal of the century. Then, after you did find the deal of the century, we'll give you the acquisition capital. Loans from $100,000 to $5 million. Various terms from 12 months to 36 months and interest only. I'd like to introduce to you Mr. Everett Oglesby. A lot of people have had a very, very hard time wrapping their mind around how in the heck is Frank going to give me 125% of the property before I even buy it. So what I've decided to do is I've had one of our funding sources, Mr. Oglesby, come online, and he is going to help me explain this so that you can wrap your mind around it. But before I introduce him, I want to let you know that Mr. Oglesby has been in the financial services pro, operating in the commercial and residential lending space since 1998, and specializing in getting the seemingly impossible deals done. Mr. Oglesby has spent the last 21 years getting difficult deals done quickly. The impossible ones take a little longer. Mr. Oglesby, are you with us? Please be with us. Mr. Oglesby, you can unmute yourself. God have mercy. Don't tell me. Well. There you have egg on your face. Well, I really don't want to go into it, what he was going to tell you, but it looks to me like Mr. Oglesby didn't make it on the call. He probably called in a few minutes late, and the call is maxed out. Okay, well, I'm just going to have to do the presentation for you, and I'm going to go into back into gear. Okay, so basically here are some of the things that Mr. Oglesby was going to talk about. He was going to talk about one.
Frank, he just joined the meeting.
He just joined the meeting. Mr. Oglesby, please.
Hi, Frank. I apologize.
It's okay. I'm going to take you out and shoot you later.
Oh.
All right. So you missed the wonderful, Carol. Okay, you missed the wonderful introduction that I just gave you. We went through the acquisition capital, and I was going to have you explain some of the programs that you have, that you're bringing to the table. So, would you like to go ahead and talk about the deferred funding program?
Yes, I would. Thanks, everybody, for being here, and I apologize for running late. When you're specializing in difficult situations, sometimes they pop up at the least opportune time. So with that, I will move on to this program. The deferred financing program will allow you to leverage properties that you have purchased for cash within the last 30 to 60 days. The program will allow you to leverage 75% of your purchase price, provided you have not begun your rehab yet.
So in other words, if I go to the rehab auction, I mean the foreclosure auctions, or if I go to an REO and I buy a piece of property for cash, and then I come to you even though I've already bought the property, you're going to fund that property. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right, fantastic. Speak on.
So the delayed financing option is a primary way to free up your cash when you have purchased where time is of the essence, especially courthouse steps. But maybe you found a distressed seller that needs to exit the property by a certain date because of pending legal action, and so you're forced to pay cash for the property, but you need to replenish that cash source. This is the perfect option to do that.
Okay. All right. And we ran out of time. We had a lot of people that I had to admonish about interruptions. So we wasted a lot of time, and we don't have much time left for you. So we better run along. Tell me about the pay-as-you-go draw program. How in the world does that pay-as-you-draw go work program work?
Yeah, the pay-as-you-draw program is exactly as it sounds. As you draw your rehab money, then you pay interest on it. You can think of the pay-as-you-draw as a rehab HELOC, because as you know, with a HELOC loan, you can have access to, for example, $100,000 of cash, and one day you can stroke a check for $50,000. And if you pay that $50,000 back before the end of the month, you don't owe any interest on it. Well, this situation with the pay-as-you-draw, when you go to close on the property and they fund the purchase, your first payment will be just interest on the purchase money only. And depending on when you take your draws, that interest payment will go up as you take your draws. So if you can get 50% of the way through the project without drawing any capital, then when you draw that 50%, then your interest payment will increase. And what this does is it keeps your carrying costs as low as possible while you're in rehab.
So this to me sounds like the most unbelievably wonderful program, because it preserves your capital to do many other things. You can buy more than one property at a time. You can do multiple properties with this program.
That's correct, Frank. And there are a lot of hidden value adds in this program. One specifically that I like to highlight for both novice real estate investors and for seasoned real estate investors is that the draw schedule is unlike the typical draw schedule in a rehab loan. In a normal rehab loan, you're paying interest on the entire loan amount from day one. Whereas with this one, you're only paying on the purchase money until you start drawing the rehab money. And when you draw the rehab money, it's only interest on the money that you've drawn. And the draw schedule is based on a percentage completion of the project. Versus in a straight rehab loan, each individual line item has to be 100% complete in order to be able to draw that money. And a lot of times when the inspector comes out, they're just finishing painting a wall, but they don't finish it while he's there, and they've got money allotted for paint, and then they can't draw that money off because when that inspector left, it wasn't 100% complete. And so a lot of times through the process of the rehab, getting your contractors paid in a straight rehab loan can be dicey, depending on how you have your payment schedule set up. Whereas with the pay-as-you-draw, it allows you to make a predictable schedule about when you're going to draw this money, which gives you predictability with your contractors because it's based on an overall percentage completion of the project versus individual line items having to be 100% complete. You can have 15 line items in your rehab budget, none of them 100% complete, but be 50% complete with the entire project and draw 50% of the money.
That's fantastic. Okay, we really have to roll because I used up an awful lot of time. We only have 30 minutes, and we might get bumped off. So I'm gonna push us along real quick here. I'm gonna move over to marketing capital. I'm gonna just dust over that real quickly. With our program, you do have the marketing capital so that you can market this on Better Homes and Gardens or waterfront property or any of the magazines so that you get the top dollar. Now, buckle up, Buttercup. Your life's about to change. You're going to go on the ride of your life. I want to talk next about the lease to own program. And so what we're going to do is we're going to roll. We're bringing our rehab job is finished. Now we're ready to do something with the property, and that's where I want you to pick up. Now you can buy any rehab with a steady stream or a steady line of hungry tenant buyers waiting for you to finish your jobs. That's where I want you to pick up. Let's go.
Okay, on the lease option product, this is a 3-year interest-only loan. There is a 6-month prepayment penalty on the loan, but at 6 months and 1 day, if your buyer is in position to buy, you can pay this loan off with no penalty. Typically, it's going to take longer than that for your client to get into position to be able to finance the property in their name. So there's only a 6-month prepayment penalty on the loan.
Okay, so stop just there. So we're talking about getting somebody, a lease option tenant in there who's not qualified to buy the house. And what we're going to do is we're going to put them through one of our many credit restoration programs so that in 3 to 6 months or to a year, his credit will be perfect and he will be qualified to buy the house. So if it takes us 6 months to get that person to that point, this is 6 months he's paying rent, 6 months he's paid a big down payment, and generally speaking, he's paid at least $100 a month over the highest possible rent in order to exercise his lease option. Is that all correct?
That is correct.
All right, go on.
So the technical aspects of this product are that the property needs to be worth at least $100,000, and we will do a minimum loan amount of $75,000. And for this product, your rehab must be complete. And if you're looking to buy a rental property, or acquire a property that you're going to do this lease option on, and there's no rehab or just cosmetic rehab needed, then you can go straight into this loan versus having to do the rehab loan to begin with.
That's fantastic. That opens up the door to thousands of people. Are you hearing this, guys? Are you hearing this? You guys are going to make a ton of money with this program. This is all pure profit. I mean, I wanted to spend some time telling you how I used this very product 10 years ago to make a boatload of money. We'll have to save that for another time. Mr. Oglesby, do you think you might be able to come back another time and keep with more? Do you think you can come back with us another time?
Not only can I come back another time, but I'll come back on time.
I appreciate that. Okay. Well, what we need you to do is we need you to get with your underwriter, do a Google search for RIA groups in your area. Now, you know who your underwriters are. They're Michelle is our head underwriter. Then there's Judy and there's Alice. And if you are a mind